120 pounds, Southeast Regional weight class here. And again, this one is another weight class that's, I think, loaded with talent. And if we had to pinpoint one weight class that had, the most talent was pretty deep, this is one that comes up in discussion. And you look at you got three guys who have state medals in their trophy cases at home. But right now, the class of this weight class is Killian Delaney. It's his it's his weight class coming off a season which he was a state runner up. And for me, like McMonagle, he's a gamer. He seems to rise in big tournaments, and this is just another stepping stone. I'm again, don't want to put the buggy before the horse or carriage before the horse, but I'm excited to see him next week as well. I got him beating Shane Hansen-Ashworth in the final. I think Hansen-Ashworth will probably most likely wrestle Cope in the semis, and will knock him out in the semis to make the finals, and Delaney beating. Will beat Lucerne in the quarters and one of probably the marquee quarterfinal matchups, in my opinion, but probably will most likely see TJ England in the semis and beat him off en route to winning the bracket. But then after that, I think Lucerne and Cope get into that consolation final match, and with Lucerne winning, he's wrestling well. Hoping that he continues to regain that form that we saw when he was on fire as a freshman, and he got over the sophomore slump, and again, want to see great things from him. Because just a great kid from a great family, and Corey Cope from Quakertown. Quakertown's going to have some guys that we're going to talk about tonight during these previews, Glenn. So there's he's a guy, he's been around forever. He's qualified for regional several times, and I think he's going to get to states. And then I think David Forrest, he's wrestling better. He was sick a little bit earlier in the year, and he took some losses that we were covering against Springford. Quinn Tobin, it was a guy who went back and forth. He got back to his winning ways with that last weekend, and I think that's going to springboard him into getting into top 6. But I don't think that he can break past that. He's just not there yet, and next year will be a year we'll talk about David Forrest making it to states. I just think he's knocking on the door, but he hasn't he's not been invited in yet, and he's not forcing his way in either. So that's where I got my top 6.
Yeah, I mean, obviously the District 1 East wrestlers here at 120 pounds are, for the top 5 guys. And I got to just say something about Shane Hansen-Ashworth. I mean, Killian Delaney obviously has been here before. Shane Hansen-Ashworth also has a ton of experience. And I think he's peaking at the right time as well, just like Max Mendez at 113. So, this is going to be a great final match. I mean, for District 1 in the Southeastern region. I mean, these are 2 guys that are going to medal, I think, at states. We're talking about, multiple medal type weight classes. This is one of them where we have 2 guys that are not only, one of the top guys with Delaney, but Shane Hansen-Ashworth is going to medal. So this is going to be a great final. And then, you and I agree on Lucerne at 3. Lucerne all of a sudden has turned it on. He's kind of put everything aside from earlier in the season. He's at the right weight class, which we talked about earlier in the year. He found his weight class, and he's the number 3 guy here. He's going to go. And then we talk about number 4. I mean, TJ England is transferred over from Archbishop Wood. He's coming out of, the District 11 situation at regionals here. I think the guy has some experience. Cope, again, you said, Quakertown has been there. They've been around. Cope has been around, but I think England's got a little bit, too much for Cope right now. Hasn't been able to figure him out yet. So we'll see, but that could go either way. But I think we have the top 5 right here. I wanted to talk a little bit about Quinn Tobin and David Forrest. I agree with you. I mean, these are guys that are on the cusp, and they're the next guys up. Next year, this is going to be the class of not necessarily this division, but certainly, wherever they are, they're going to be the top 2 guys at one of these weight classes. But I got to say, this is going to be a great final here at this weight class.
Yeah, I'm really looking forward to 120 pounds. Now all these guys are down in the same weight and strap it up and get after it.